Governor office, Indiana State Governor Mitch Daniel office controlling. Indiana State Governor's office. See.
Podium is where the Speaker of the House will stand. He's the leader, and so he will introduce the bills, and then the representatives have a desk. If you notice closely on the desk is a flag, but at the top of the desk there are three buttons: green, red, and white, and that's how they vote. They can vote yes or no. So they press the green button if they want to vote yes. What color would they push if they want to vote no? Red. And so they have to vote on the bill. Green for yes and red for no. So it would be kind of interesting to be a member of the House of Representatives, wouldn't it? Again, you can do that. You don't have to be a lawyer. You just have to be, in this case, you have to be 21 years old. So in a few years, you might decide to run for a representative from your township there, Perry Township. And you would come here in January, February, and March, and you would sit and listen. They would talk about the laws, And you could decide green or red. So somebody might get up there someday and say, well, I think we should abolish the I-STEP test. I think we should just let the schools make up all their own tests. And you'd have to decide whether you thought that was a good idea or not. She thinks it's a good idea. So you never know. I think one of the issues being talked about these days is whether they should have seat belts on school buses. You know, school buses don't have seat belts. We have to buckle a seat belt in the car, on the airplane, but on the school bus, no seat belts. And it's interesting, there are really good arguments on both sides about whether you should have seat belts on school buses. Look at the big painting on the wall. That's called a mural. M-U-R-A-L. A big painting on the wall. And I like murals because every time you look at the picture, you seem to see something different. The mural is called The Spirit of Indiana. So everything in the picture has something to do with Indiana. You can't see it very well up here because of the chandelier. If you were downstairs, you could see it. As a matter of fact, I think we can go downstairs now. So follow me. I think we're going to sell them.
The governor's office. See. Here, top floor, see governor's building. No more. Thì top floor sĩ tôi gần ổn nạc xin thôi ạ cần chấm
now we're seeing this room a little better. Remember we were up there, now we're down here. This is called the floor of the House of Representatives. And now you can see the green buttons and the red buttons a little better. Now don't play with the buttons, I don't want to throw the voting machine off here. But this is where the 100 members of the House of Representatives will meet. And there's where the Speaker stands, the Speaker of the House. He is the person that has been chosen to be the leader of this
Speaker of
group.
the House.
And then this is where people come up and talk about the bills and the issues that they plan to vote on. I was talking about the mural. See, you can see the picture much better now. And this is an interesting picture. You probably see a lot more things than you saw from upstairs. At the very top of the picture, it looks like a steam locomotive. And then a little farther down, you see a covered wagon with horses. And then sort of in the middle of the picture, there's a jet plane. So this picture encompasses all times. On the right side of the picture, we see the commerce of Indiana. This is what we would say is the money-producing part of Indiana. You see a big bucket pouring out yellow paint. Well, it's not paint. That's molten steel, because Indiana makes a lot of steel up in northern Indiana. You see a goddess with her blanket full of vegetables and fruit. Indiana produces a lot of agriculture. You see the limestone. Indiana is a great limestone state. So on the right side is the commerce of Indiana. And on the left it shows how we use our commerce, how we fund various things. We spend a lot of money on education in Indiana. So you see men with books. The lower left, you see people with books in their hand. That represents the schools in Indiana. So there's a lot of symbolism here. You see in the middle of the picture, there's a young lady with a crown and a yellow gown. She represents Indiana, Miss Indiana. She represents Indiana. When Indiana first became a state, which was in what year? 1816. And behind her is a man who looks like a soldier, and his name is William Henry Harrison, one of the first, the governor of the territory, and later the president of the United States. So let's pretend that you're representing your district. You're a lawmaker now. You are a lawmaker. You have to decide yes or no on so many bills. Yes or no. What's one thing you have to consider whenever someone introduces a bill? You have to consider. If someone should say, I think we should pass a law, be no more taxes. We're going to pass a law in Indiana, no more tax. Now that would be a popular bill. Are you going to vote yes or no on that bill? I'm going to take away the sales tax, the excise tax, the income tax. No more taxes in Indiana. How many are going to vote yes? How many will vote no? You know what? If I were here, I'd vote no. Now, why would it not necessarily be a good idea to vote for no taxes? Think about it. How do we keep your schools operating there in Southfield, Perry Township? Who pays your teachers? Who keeps the school going? How does that work? Where do they get the money? So probably it wouldn't be a good idea. How would you like to live in a state that had no money? They couldn't build the roads. They couldn't fix the holes in the street. You wouldn't want to live in a state that had no taxes. So that's why you have to think about things. I could get up here and say, okay, I'm going to pass a law that every Friday in Indiana schools, every student in Indiana gets a free hot fudge sundae. Every Friday we'll pass a law. Every Friday, every student gets a hot fudge sundae. How many vote yes? How many vote no? So, before that bill becomes a law, we'll have to assign it to a committee because not everybody's sure. So it goes to a committee and they discuss it back and forth. Is there anything wrong with serving hot fudge sundae every Friday in every school in Indiana? What might somebody say against that? Is there anything wrong with it? Well, somebody might say, that's going to cost a lot of money. We're already watching the budget very closely. It's going to cost so many more million dollars every year to buy all that ice cream, all that hot fudge. What might be another argument against it? Are they going to put nuts on the sundae? Is anybody allergic to nuts? Yes, there are people allergic, so you can't put nuts on the sundae. I think probably by the time it was over, a lot of people would vote against it because of the cost, because of the fact that there's already a concern for obesity among children. I think we'd probably vote it down. That would be fun, wouldn't it? How many people would like to be a representative here or something? You know, male, female, doesn't matter. You have to be one. Across the way, there's the Senate. There are 50 people in the Senate. They do basically the same thing. They pass laws. You have to be 25 years old to be in the Senate. To be governor, you have to be 30 years old. And to be president of the United States, you have to be 35. So, Robert, you could start here. Robert's going to start here at the age of 21. And after 4 years, Robert is going to go to the Senate. And he'll be over there 5 years. And at the age of 30, Robert will be governor. Sorry, Justin. And at the age of 35, Robert will be president of the United States. Congratulations, Robert. I think he's sort of overwhelmed now, worrying. I don't think he really wants to be president. Maybe it's Justin going to be president. Well, this pretty much ends the tour. You've seen the executive offices of Lieutenant Governor. You've certainly seen the legislative branch. Here you are, sitting here where they make the laws. And you've been in the Supreme Court of Indiana. You have had a good tour of the state. You can thank your teachers and your sponsors for bringing you here today. You were a wonderful group. I really enjoyed talking to you. And I really do hope some of you come back someday to serve in the House or the Senate or Leslie, to be in the Supreme Court, and of course the governor here. That office will be there waiting for you in just a few years. Any last second questions? Okay, I'll take you back to the rotunda where we started.
So can we get a picture here 1 second?
Sure.
A group?
Take whatever you want.
A
You
group
want
picture.
them up here?
Yes, yes.
All up front?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, everybody get
Everybody
a
up
picture.
front.
Yeah, sure.